car is a 1980 Weissach, or Weissach as they say in German, limited edition. And from the years 1980 through 1985, Porsche imported officially no turbocharged 911s. To that end, in 1980, when they made that decision, there were a lot of Porsche files that were really upset at Porsche over their decision. So Porsche came out with and made this special edition Weissach, and they made 406 of these. Each of the 406 were Palomino in color with they called it Doric Grey, but it's really tan interior, and the other half were black metallic. The black metallic is really not black, although Germans say Schwarz is black. It's a deep, dark, anthracite, really super metallic color. The problem with the color is that when it chips, and you can see the silver in it. At least I could. So, after having the car for some period of time that I bought in 1985 from my cousin, who bought the car from its original owner at 2,800 miles. In fact, the original owner had never driven the car in the rain. He kept it in a warehouse for some reason, and ended up selling it to my cousin, who put 45,000 miles in. I bought it in 85 when he ordered his 86 turbo. That's when they came back out with a turbo. But back to the paint, as you know, if you drive Porsche 911s, the front chips. This car has never had and does not have any rust, zero. Also, it's never had a door ding on it from another car in parking. And the only way you can accomplish that, of course, is to park it half a block away, as we all know. So this car has had a lot of TLC from the day that it was bought new till the day that I'm driving it today, which is July the 8th, at 199,129 miles. I finished the refurbishment of the car in the 2004, and the car had at that time 98,750 miles. Now here we are 16 years later, it has 99,129 miles. I drove it occasionally, rarely as you can tell, but to keep the seals lubricated. And because I've been in the automotive service business for 48 years and had a 15,000 square foot facility, it was easy for me to perform repairs whenever and however I wanted, because I had plenty of room to keep the car. To that end, the transmission has been gone through with new OEM, all OEM parts, steel synchronizers. The shifting mechanism has been updated most recently, in fact, in the last 6 months. And I have videos of all these repairs that I'm speaking of now, and pictures and photos that were taken at the time. So the gear shift, trunnion, the U-joint in the back where it plugs into the transmission, and the pipe that connects the two, the rod, all has new bushings and seals and was blueprinted. Air conditioning system has been upgraded and has a Griffiths aluminum serpentine rotary compressor and an evaporator core, and literally outperforms the original Porsche air conditioner. Of course, that's not saying a lot, but it definitely will cool the car now. Let me ease by this. I want to accelerate here. And then I best stop because the neighbors out there. It's been raining in our location, so everyone's out now that it's no longer raining in the afternoon. Back to the car, the paint was a windows out, complete paint job, and as I reassembled the car, all of the rubber body panel separator parts were replaced. The impact bumper accordions were replaced. Not because they were bad, it was just seemed like that it would make it newer, and that's what my goal was, to make the car restored as new as possible at that time and ever since. I had the only really issue I had was the flash to pass headlight switch, but it was erratic. So rather than to take the switch apart and polish the little contact that makes it flash to pass, I replaced it with a complete assembly, which was more time consuming and more expensive, but the right thing to do. In addition to that, the ignition switch and steering wheel lock assembly, if you're familiar with that particular component, is about $1,000 a piece, and it comes with new keys. It's somewhat of a chore to replace, in as much as the theft deterrent screws have no head on them, so it's a trick to get those out. But I replaced that assembly. In addition, that switch assembly came with new keys, but the part of the key that you grab was about the size of my thumb, and literally, I don't know why they made it that way, so I ordered 2 new Porsche blanks, and then I had those new blanks and the new lock assembly rekeyed to match the doors, because it's just not correct to have 2 sets of keys for the same car. The interior leather was replaced, all of it, not because it was torn up, but because it was cracked, as leather does. The dash was not cracked, but it had warped, and the dash, as you can see across here now, is new. Now, it is probably the only part that's not original as far as replacement on the car, because at the time in the 04 when I replaced this dash, I could not locate a leather wrapped Porsche dash. So I bought the next best thing, which is this dash, was still expensive, and then had it color matched to the interior, and that was a good decision. The mirrors, the dual mirrors, both work. The sunroof both works. All of the weather stripping around the sunroof has been replaced. The rear and front glasses have been replaced. I purchased but did not install new weather strips on the doors, because quite candidly, I had already had it painted, and the door weather stripping in its current condition is excellent. So whoever buys the car will get 2 new door weather strips, and it'll be your decision as to whether you want to put those on or not. Let's see what else. Well, we stopped for this red light, that's for sure. The speedometer gears, the odometer gears at a 911, as you may well know, are prone to break, and these did go out, and during the time that they broke, I sent the speedometer assembly to VDO corporate rather than to replace those gears in my shop myself. And the reason that I did that is so that I could verify that the speedometer mileage was correct, and that I never had it apart personally. And so it has all of the seals and all of the little green paint that VDO corporate placed on the speedometer assembly when they replaced this odometer gears. A lot of traffic this time of the afternoon. We'll go up here and make a U-turn and turn around and come back. The brakes are new. The calipers were overhauled. I personally went through each of the 4 calipers and resealed those. In addition, I put new brake hoses on, which is normal procedure, but not for everyone. We'll do a little acceleration here. If we look at the tachometer and the oil pressure, get over this manhole. So that's, I don't see how anybody could drive a 911 without feeling the power, and it's the driver's car for sure. And this car is, of course, no different. It just responds. The injector system is immaculate. The intake manifold, which also is prone to crack, as you know, is brand new. and also has the additional additive of the pop-off valve so that that won't happen again. It has, the upper engine has been resealed, and years ago when I first bought the car, as I said, I've had it 35 years, I updated the timing chains, and so it has the new hydraulic tensioner assemblies on the timing chains. In addition to that, after the extended time that I had the car apart, which for business and personal reasons took me 9 years, when I first fired the engine, it really jumped to life and ran fine, but it seemed to have a bad muffler, which, because it would make a loud noise when you accelerated. When it turned out, it wasn't a muffler at all, it was the head cylinder studs, which is quite common on these cars. So removed the engine, replaced all of the original cylinder studs with the latest 911 full thread stud, which is, as if you're familiar with that particular part of the engine, you'll know is the best thing to do. There's pictures also of the stud. There was one stud that was tough to get out, and I was able to extract it very carefully, so I've got a picture of that as well, which is quite interesting. And even more important than, or equally as important, I'll say, as the stud replacement, is the interior of the engine. Looks like you poured oil over a new engine. Even more important, the cylinder cross hatch is still intact and still as it was when it was new. And when I say when it was new, I did this work when the engine had 98,000. We'll see how it fires here. The crosshatch on the cylinders, where the ring stops and turns and goes the other way as the piston goes up and down, that's where you take your finger down and you feel for any groove. Not only is there zero wear there, or practically zero wear, the crosshatch is still evident right where the piston stops and the ring stops. It goes the other way, and the crosshatch doesn't lie. So there's a great picture, 2 or 3 pictures. So when you're looking through all of the pictures that we put here with Bring a Trailer, please do look at the specific one that shows the cylinder assembly. And I have to say that the reason that I'm selling this car after 35 years of ownership is that I sold my business in October of 19, and this is July of 2020, and we still have a radio program and studio there, but we are that is soon to be over. And what we're going to do is we're going to move out and have moved out of that facility. So I don't have a place to keep the car. And so again, that's the reason for selling it. It's either park it in the garage and leave my other car out, or put this car in. So those are the reasons, and that is the reason that I'm selling the car. I look forward to answering any questions that you may ask in the comments section. Our talk voice to voice. We have so far had a great communication with Bring a Trailer, and I look forward to listing the car and to answering any questions that you may have about it. Thank you very much.
Tell them about the dry icing.
Oh, yeah. That's if you've never seen dry icing before and after, it's unbelievable. The dry icing was, the top of the car is so drop dead gorgeous, and it has $1,150 worth of ceramic update, although I kept it immaculate. I found this gentleman who had a degree in chemistry and also was a detailer, and he put 2 coats of 3 oxide mixtures, which took 3 days of prep, on the anthracite paint, and it was beautiful. But the underside of the car was, of course, had 99,000 miles on it, and we had it dry iced, and that's an amazing process that does no damage whatsoever. Well, I take that back. The air ducts that are a rubber and an accordion for the heater on these cars, both of those were new, and the blasting from the dry ice ruptured the rubber ducts, and so I put new ones on, and the new ones are even better than the new ones I put on in 2004. So the underside of the car has been detailed, and all of the linkages and engine mounts and throttles, and the throttle linkage also, that's another weak point of a 911. That's been replaced, the bushings and the linkage there. So of all of the typical 911 shortcomings, of which there were few, this car has been updated and upgraded with money was no object at the time. And again, we're selling the car because we need, I hope that it finds a great new home, and hope that you'll reach out to me and ask questions.